with marketing, it's like going fishing. You need to have the right bait, right? The right offer. You need to be there at the right time. If your target market is tradespeople, they might not necessarily be on LinkedIn if they're like solopreneurs or just a single business operator. LinkedIn doesn't like it if you're using their platform without paying for it, right? So if you're doing these automations, they don't love it. Is it against the law? No. Is it against their terms of service? Yeah, they don't really love it. And on this podcast, I'm going to show you how to send up to 10,000 emails a day legitimately and legally for business-to-business conversations. Welcome to the Results-Based Marketing Podcast, the podcast for business owners looking to leverage wildly profitable and cutting-edge marketing, lead generation, and lead nurture campaigns in their business. I'm Simon Cryer, the founder of Automate Convert, where we've literally helped clients generate millions, hundreds of millions of dollars using the exact strategies that I'm going to share with you in this podcast. So if you want to automate, convert, and dominate your industry, you're in the right place at the right time. Let's get started. Thanks for being here. Hey guys, I'm really excited to be here today, and I want you to listen in and pay particular attention because on this episode, we're going dark. We're talking about a controversial area of marketing that most businesses know nothing about. It's a gray area and it's ninja, and this can give you some massive strategic advantage if you're paying attention. I'm talking about cold email and organic automated LinkedIn outreach. The team here have asked me to sort of go through both of them and evaluate which is the best, put the two head to head and see which one reigns supreme. So I'm going to give you a bit of an overview about how each one of them works and why it's a bit of a ninja gray area and why it's so powerful. There is some new technologies that have just been released, and it's been a bit of a game changer for one particular form. So whether it's LinkedIn or cold email, I want you to pay attention and you'll get all the juice and the benefits and value here, right now. I'm going to spill the beans. All right, so first of all, let's talk about it is a bit of a gray area, okay? So LinkedIn doesn't like it if you're using their platform without paying for it, right? So if you're doing these automations, they don't love it. Is it against the law? No. Is it against their terms of service? Yeah, they don't really love it, but who cares? We have businesses who say, we just want to get in front of our ideal customer. And so if they don't like it, same with cold emails. You've got Google and Yahoo and other email servers who don't love cold email because you're doing it at scale. And on this podcast, I'm going to show you how to send up to 10,000 emails a day legitimately and legally for business-to-business conversations, because the law says you are allowed to do that. That is not spam whatsoever. The only thing is, how do you get a list that big so that you can send out 10,000 emails a day? I'm going to show you how to do that on today's call. So let's have a look at comparing one against the other. If we're looking at both of them from a cost point of view, they're relatively similar. There's an art and a science to both of these methodologies. The science is choosing the right platform. So in LinkedIn, you can use a platform called ULink. I'll put the link here in the podcast so you can check it out there, ULink. And there's a subscription base. I think it's about $50 per account that you use on LinkedIn. So you could use your account on LinkedIn. You could use your wife's account or your husband's account or your partner's account on LinkedIn, staff members. You could create a brand persona account, which is kind of an account, but it's not really a real person. Let's just call it an AI account on your behalf. And so each account on the LinkedIn platform can make 20 connects a day, and you can run them through an automated message sequence where you can make the connections, say hello, give some value, make an offer. You can nurture these people into an appointment with you. We tried this and we started it within, I think, 60 days. We had written over $180,000 in contracts for our own agency with that one LinkedIn approach. We invested about $40,000 to $50,000 just to learn how to do it. So it's really, really valuable. We don't charge people to learn how to do it in our agency. We just do it for them, right? So as part of our fee. So yeah, cost to set up, not really a huge amount. Same with the email marketing. There's some cost there for setting up domains, but some new changes that have happened in technology. When we used to set up domains, we would never jeopardize a client's main email domain, because the last thing you want to do is get that account suspended, because then they can't talk to their customers. They lose all lines of communication from email. So we would register another domain. So if we had a company called xyz.com, we would register xyz.biz, xyz.au, xyz.store or .app. we'd have a couple of different domain names so that we wouldn't jeopardize that main domain. Normally, we would put, say, 3 email accounts off that each domain. We'd register a Google Workspace. There's no need to do that right now with the new technology that's happened. Basically, each domain that we register right now, instead of 3 accounts, we can have like 99 accounts of each one. And this is how we can scale to 10,000 emails a day getting sent out to our clients, potentially. Hey, if you're a business owner making between 1 and 5 million a year and you want more consistent qualified leads to grow your business, then why don't we have a complimentary chat? I'm looking to personally invest $26,000 into 7 individual businesses right now who are serious about scaling. Book in a call with me and my team using the link in the show notes below to see if you qualify. Now back to the episode. The response rate is something that you might want to think about as well. That just comes from testing and measuring. So if you're looking at this with a really small niche, let's say that you're just chasing CEOs of companies that are doing north of $50 million in revenue a year, you can have a very small database. So I think your messaging needs to reflect that as well. You need to get quite personal. You need to do maybe some research on that as well. I wouldn't just do a broad-based impersonal email campaign. I'd actually go and dial in and make it super, super personal, right? I would even maybe add to that. And if you had a really small audience, I would even consider something to add on to this, which is another campaign outside of cold email and LinkedIn. If you had a super small, you would maybe even set apart by using direct email, even lumpy email. We had a client that was selling restoration services to mining companies where they had heritage listed structures, buildings, and they needed to relocate them about 400 meters to the left so they could dig a dirty great hole and put a mine there. And so they needed to relocate that place. So each client was worth about $2 million. So we had a different campaign, which was not only email marketing, but we also did lumpy mail. And we did a promotion where we sent like a chess piece dipped in gold to the person who was responsible for the decision-making of engaging these guys. We talked about the problems that they face, people not delivering on budget or on time for projects and quotes and stuff like that, and how they could have reliable services to get in front of them. So the offer was, yep, let's have an appointment with you. And when we do, we'll bring the rest of the chess pieces with you so you can have the full game. It was kind of cool. But getting back to LinkedIn and cold email, you want to look at the response rates, right? And so what I like the most is just the volume of what you're able to do. With, say, LinkedIn, you might want to use LinkedIn actually as a database for your cold email outreach as well. Okay, so that might be a list that you can scrape. So it might not be one or the other. It could be using one for the other, if that makes sense. I'd say the response rates for email, cold email, is better than the LinkedIn response rates, only because you can do so much more scale with cold email. With LinkedIn, you're limited to 20 new connects a day per account. With cold email, I can do 10,000 emails a day. So the response rates are going to be higher just because I can ramp up the volume. So it outperforms any LinkedIn outreach. So even if the effectiveness of the campaign is 50%, I'm at like hundreds times more volume. So it matters less to me in terms of the response rate. Hey, a really good point is to think about your target market. Are they actually on LinkedIn? For example, if your target market is tradespeople, they might, or carpenters, they might not necessarily be on LinkedIn if they're like solopreneurs or just a single business operator or even a larger company. They may not be on LinkedIn, right? So you need to think about, where is my audience at? So with marketing, it's like going fishing. You need to have the right bait, right? The right offer. You need to be there at the right time. You need to have the right message, and you need to have going for the right fish. You need to be in the right place where the fish are hanging out. So if your fish are not hanging out on LinkedIn, you don't want to be fishing in LinkedIn. So if your target audience isn't on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's a no-go for you, right? So yeah, there's going to be different audiences on different platforms. And if your audience is on LinkedIn, you can do both. Use that to message them on LinkedIn, and also you can scrape that particular database to serve them emails from LinkedIn as well. Okay. Next thing is having a look at your customer journey, right? So we want to know that people are going to be checking you out. They're going to be searching you. The cool thing about a LinkedIn outreach is they can just click on your photo and bam, your profile comes up, which is why you probably want to have your profile optimized, clearly articulating why you're a person that's a person of authority, that's a deep subject matter expert, why they should be dealing with you, your experience, case studies. You want to have the benefits in like a banner on your LinkedIn profile to really optimize that and just to know that people are going to be checking you out before they book in for a call with you. So a question that I've had from one of my team here is like, how do you measure the success for each campaign? Well, it's all about appointments generated, right? It's all about responses. So the first thing we want to do is get a response. So, and usually that's an answer to a question like, is this a priority for you? Or can I send you some more information? Or did you find some time to check out the video that I sent you? So you want to have that response thing there. That's the first metric, is response. And then the most important one is the appointments. From then it goes from a marketing conversation to a sales conversation, and how well you handled that appointment, how much value you gave, and how you asked elegantly to do business. That's how you measure the success of each campaign. So if I had to pick one between LinkedIn or cold email, and I hate picking one because I want to have all of it, I would choose cold email because of the new technology that has allowed us to scale like nothing I have ever seen before. Like, this is before spam laws came into play. There's new technology now which we get around servers that don't like it, but it's absolutely legal if you have a B2B conversation. Now, business to consumer is different. That is absolute spam. But if you're in a business that does business to business conversations, you help businesses grow profit, save costs, get more customers, absolutely game changer for your business. Go all in with cold email. Happy marketing. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's a gray and controversial area. It's something that we do in our own agency because it is super powerful. I hope you found this valuable. See you soon. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to Results-Based Marketing. If today's episode gave you valuable insights into maximizing your marketing efforts, we'd love your support. Please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on socials at Simon Cryer. All the links for me are in the show notes below. And happy marketing. Thank you so much for your attention.